Alright, so in this video we will talk about user account management in Linux based operating system, in which we will talk about how we can create a new user, how we can modify an existing user, and how we can delete a user, and so on. And after that we will also talk about the groups, what are groups, how we can create a groups, and how we can add a user to a specific group, and what does it mean, what are the use cases. And we will also talk about some important files you should be aware of, in which the information or details related to the users and groups are stored. So let's get started by creating a new user. For that we will use the USERADD command. Simplest way to create a user is USERADD and then the name of the person or the username. Okay, additionally you can also provide few options like this, but let's first see an example of USERADD. Okay, the simplest option. Okay, so this is my virtual machine and I am using the sandwiched distribution and logged in as a Paul user right now. Okay, I will simply use USERADD. Okay, and the name of the user, let's say Alex. Okay, if I hit enter, I am getting the permission denied error. Reason is the task which I am trying to perform is admin related task. So either I should be logged in as a root user, or I have to use sudo. So let's try to use sudo. Okay. Okay, before using the sudo, let me show you one more thing. Let me change the directory to cd home directory home. Okay, and if I do ls, I can see some already existing directory which are the personal home directory of the different users created. So what I'm trying to show, if I create a new user again, okay, so its home directory will be created automatically in this location. Okay, let me try first sudo USERADD, okay, and ls. Very simple. If I hit enter, okay, so the sudo password, okay, let me try to hit enter. Okay, so it was successful. If I do ls now, so yeah, here you go. You can see the one more directory has been added in this location, which is the Alex, which is the home directory or the personal directory of the Alex user. Okay, so after creating the user, how you can verify that the user has been created successfully? One option is, again, you can check in the home directory. Second option is using the id command. If you simply use id and the name of the user like Alex, so using this command you will only get result if the user already existing. If not, let me try with a random username like id Raju. So you will see something like no such user. So this is also a way to verify if the user has been created. By using the id command, you also get some more information about the user created. And from here, you will see and understand one more thing, that apart from the user, a group also created with the same name, Alex, whose group ID is 1003. And in order to understand the concept of default group created, let me show you with an example. I will simply use ls-ltr to see the ownership and file permissions in the home directory. Okay. If you notice the Alex, which is the home directory of Alex, who is the owner of this directory? Alex. This is the username. And who is the group ownership of this folder? That is the Alex, which is the default group created. Only the user has this RWX permission. Currently logged in as a Paul user. If I try to switch to Alex folder, so I will get the permission denied error. Now let's talk about the other way of creating the user, in which we can provide the different option like -g. We can also specify a different group, -s to provide the default shell, -c to provide the comment or the description like why we are creating the user, etc., or the purpose. -m is the option which is required if you want to create the home directory. Okay, in the last example we have seen that the home directory was created by default, but this may not be the case in all the distribution. So better to use -m option if you want to create the home directory. Apart from that, you can also provide the location or the path of the directory like this, and in the last the username. But before executing this command, let's quickly understand the concept of groups. So first we will create the group, then we can see this example by assigning this user to a added or the new group. So let's understand the purpose of group with a use case. Suppose I have this folder on a Linux machine. Okay, I want to share this folder with only two users. Okay, which is Paul and Raju. So what could be the solution? So solution is we can create a group. Let's say QA. Okay, I can add Paul and Raju to this group, and I can change the group ownership of this folder to the QA. So simple, right? So this is the main purpose of handling or managing the groups. Now how we can create the group? We can simply use group add and then the name of the group. So let me create a group first. So I need to use sudo, then group add, and then the name of the group, that is the QA. Very simple. And sudo password. Okay, I think we are done. Now we will going to create a new user using these options. Okay, so simply I will start with USERADD, then -g, specify the group, so QA. Okay, then -s, which for the default shell, so I can provide bin bash. Okay, then -c for comment. This is for QA group. Okay, then I can provide -m. I can also provide -d like for directory. So I can, let's say, home Victor. Okay, and the name of the user, which is the Victor. Very simple. I have used all the options. If I hit enter, okay, permission denies because I forgot to use the sudo. So simply use sudo and it's done. How to verify it after creating? Simple, use ID and Victor. Okay, so here you go. User ID of this user is 1004, but in this case you will see something different, that this user is associated with the QA group. Okay, and also if I do ls-ltr inside the home directory, so now you will see something different, because for Victor, the owner of this folder was Victor and the group owner is QA right now, and for the Alex it was the default one, which was the Alex. Now let's see how we can modify a user. In this section we will cover two parts. So first one is how to add a user to a new group, but the condition is the default group will remain same. For this we are going to use USERMOD, means modification command, -G, okay, to add the extra group. Okay, so for example, by default for the Alex, one group is already assigned, that is the default group, or whose name is Alex. Now if I want to add one more group, that is the QA, to Alex, what can I do? Okay, simply use sudo usermod. Okay, then -G uppercase. Okay, then QA and the name of the user, that is the Alex. Very simple. If I do ID Alex again, so you will see in section groups. So now the Alex is a part of two groups. One is default Alex and the other is the QA group. Okay, so this is what we wanted. Now the second part is how to change the default group. Okay, so for this I have another user ID Nick. So this user has only a default group, that is the Nick. Now if I want to change the default group, I will use sudo usermod. Okay, -G, this is the small one word, QA and the name of the user Nick. Okay, ID Nick, and if you see, the default group of this user has been changed to QA now. So in this way you can use the USERMOD. Now let's see how to delete a user. Okay, for this you will use userdel command. If you simply use userdel and the name of the user, it will delete the user, but its data will remain there. Okay, but if you also want to remove its data, then you have to use userdel -r. There is one more option, userdel -f. This is applicable when the user is currently logged in and somehow working, but you want to delete it anyhow. Okay, so for example, remotely a user is accessing that server, but you are really want to remove that user, then you can use -f, sorry. But in this case, let's see the usage of -r. So let's do it. Okay, so let me try to use, okay, let's say ls Nikki, N-I-C-K-Y. Okay, if I try to remove it, userdel, okay, then Nikki. Okay, let me try to show you the simple way, the userdel Nikki. That's it. If I still do ls, the home directory is still present in this directory, means its data is still preserved. But if I do sudo userdel -r and then name of the user, let's say Nick. Okay, Nick. Okay, after this operation, when I executed id command for Nick, I can simply see or verify that no such user. And also when I did ls-ltr, you can see the Nick folder is not present because we have used -r. Although I have seen this error or warning, reason is it is simply saying group Nick not removed because it is not the primary group of the user Nick. If you remember, we have just changed the default group for the Nick user to QA. That is the reason the default group created that was the Nick is still present. I mean, that's not a problem. So apart from changing the group of a user, we can also perform some other options as a part of user modification, like changing the home directory. Okay, so we can simply use -m and -d, and you can provide the new home location of the user. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so for example, for the Victor, okay, right now the home directory of Victor user is Victor. Let's say I need to change it, so I will simply use usermod -m. Okay, then the new location -d, I will simply use home, then Victor home. Okay, like this. And for which user? Let's say Victor. Okay, provide this, and if I do ls, so now you can see the Victor has been changed to the new home directory, that is the Victor home. Other option is -p, which is used to set or change the password, although you can simply use the password command, although I will cover it because I have forgot to use it. -s to change the shell type. Okay, and the very interesting thing at the bottom is -l and -u, both the capital letters. -l for lock and -u for unlock a user, because you are an admin user. Now if you want to block a user, you can simply use -l to lock it, so until you don't unlock it again, that user will not be able to log in. Now let's talk about setting the password. So far we have seen how to create the user. We have created two users, Alex and Victor. Now if I want to log in as another user, because currently I'm logged in as a user Paul, I can simply use who am I to verify that I am currently logged in as a Paul user. If I want to log in as a Victor or Alex, what can I do? I can simply use su command, that is a switch user command, hyphen and the name of the user, let's say Victor. Okay, if I simply do this, okay, it is asking for the password, but where is the password? We haven't set it yet, right? So I can't do anything now. If I do any random thing, okay, it will not allow me, and it will give you the authentication failure like this. So in order to log in to another user, you have to set the password. Only the root user can directly log in without the password because he is the super user, right? So for that we can simply use sudo passwd password command, then the name of the user Victor, very simple. Okay, this is a sudo password actually. Changing password for user Victor. Okay, new password. Okay, so all authentication token updated successfully. So now I have set a password for the user Victor. If I now try to change the user su-u Victor, okay, now I can provide the password which I have just set, simple, and then enter. So you can see that I can now log in as the user. Also, one more use case about changing the password is, for example, right now you are logged in as a Victor user. Okay, for example, you are Victor. Okay, If you want to change your password, you can simply use passwd command, password, and that's it, and hit enter. See, it is saying changing password for user Victor, so current user. Okay, I will simply use Control C to terminate this. And now in order to log in back as a Paul user, simply use exit. Okay, so you are now back to Paul user now. Let me also show you quickly the use of -l. Let's say sudo usermod -l. I am locking the Victor user, Victor. Okay, very simple. If I try to use su Victor password, and let's see, okay, it is not working. So see, it is showing me the authentication failure. But as soon as if I do unblock, capital U means unblock. Okay, if I do it again, see, it's working. Okay, so in this way you can also block and unblock a user. So in the end, let's talk about the files you can refer and you can check to see and get the more details about the users and group created. So there are mainly three types of file you can use in this case, and all three are present inside the etc folder. One is password, other is group, and the third one is shadow. So let's cover and see one by one. These are the admin files, so you can't see it or read it directly. So you will need to use sudo command, sudo less command to read etc. And let's start with the password. Password, okay. Root, okay. So here in this file, you will see all the information related to the user created. If I jump at the bottom, so you will notice the user we just created, that is the Alex and the Victor. Different information related to it, like the user ID, group ID, its a home folder, the home directory, the default shell, etc. And for the Victor, while creating, we have also provided the comment, right? So this is for the QA group. So this was the purpose. Home directory is Victor home because we have changed it to the Victor home instead. Now the other file is etc group. Okay, so in this file, you will see the group we have created. So if I jump at the bottom, you will see the group we have created. Okay, so one was Alex, which was the default group created with the user. Okay, and its group ID was 1003. And then we have created a QA group and whose group ID is 1004. So from this file, you can easily verify for a specific group how many users are part of that group. Okay, and the last file was etc shadow means, okay, in the encryption. So this file is used for containing the password of the user. So if I jump at the bottom, you can see the user we have created, like the Alex and the Victor. Okay, now in front of the Victor, you can see some a very long string, but something in the encrypted format. So that is the password for the Victor okay, user. But for the Alex, we haven't set the password, that's why it is empty. Okay, so this is the password. And apart from that, there are some information that last password, when it was changed, and the minimum and the maximum, the expiration date or something. So yeah, that's it. Okay, so this is all about this video. Thanks for watching.